We lost people.
Hi, we're live.
Hey, hola.
Hey.
So we tried this 10-minute countdown, and I think the 10 minutes is a little long. I don't even know if the countdown is correct on your side.
Come back, everybody.
But yeah, we
Yes.
did have 5 people on here, but now we're down to 3. So sorry.
Oh, are we going?
Yeah.
I don't see us up here though. Oh, there we go. We're Thursday.
Now
Hey,
we're
there's
fully
a delay.
live.
There's a delay. You need to shut it off. So, anyway, welcome everybody to our Tidbit Thursdays. Today is April 8th, 2021. And we are here to talk about some property management stuff. Our little logo there. You like that little logo? I just made that.
Property management.
You like that?
That looks good.
Yeah, it's
I
Canva.
mean,
Canva.com, people.
It looks all right.
They haven't paid me yet. But hey, I made that little cover page on Canva, and it says property management. Is it still worth it? And that's some of the stuff that we're gonna talk about today. Not too long, but just some discussion amongst us. So, yeah. Do we have any announcements?
Well, we still have Sean O'Connor, that we did announce him prior that he was going to be joining the team and all that, and we have yet to have him on here with us.
Yeah.
Maybe next Thursday then. We'll bring him on eventually, just so you guys can actually see him. I know some of you are familiar with him, but
He's
everybody
like that
needs to be familiar.
imaginary friend.
He's an imaginary
I know,
friend.
right?
He is. We pretend he's part of our team to make us all feel better.
Yeah. So we have a team of 5 instead of 4.
Seriously?
But no. Hopefully Sean will be here next week. I know he just got his COVID shot.
Yes.
And he was feeling crappy there for a little bit. So
Well, he's
see.
out showing
he's out
customers
showing.
and clients
okay.
homes.
Well,
So
right.
he's actually working.
he's
and
working.
We're here.
He's really working.
We're here.
We're here filming this while we're cracking the whip on him. So let's move forward on the
Push your
housing
microphone
market.
away a little bit.
Push my microphone away. They're saying I speak too loudly.
Yes, 'cause you're in the red. There we go.
And if you have a birthday this week, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Let us know. Drop something into the comments and we'll say happy birthday to you.
So
You said
anyway,
say,
let's
not
go.
sing.
Huh?
You said say, not sing.
Not sing.
Not sing. We're
Never.
Who's gonna sing?
Nobody.
Denise.
No.
I don't sing. Anyway, so let's get into the discussion. Let's talk about first of all, let's talk about the housing market, because I know it's been kind of crazy here in San Antonio, with all these people moving into San Antonio, trying to find a place to live, and just in general. So, thoughts on the salespeople over here, because I don't do that.
Well, Belinda and I have been working with a couple different buyers, and I know I took out one of my buyers last night. We went to go check out some new builds that she's very interested in. However, we found that it's going to take 6 to 9 months to get her house built, and that's if she selects one of the homes that are actually already in process, versus getting to fully customize her home. If she fully customizes her home, it could take her anywhere between 10 to 12 months for that home to be built. So that was a little bit of it was a little kick in the gut for her and for myself as we were looking. So the available pre-owned market is really short. Didn't you have a client as well that's having to wait?
Yeah, it's taken about 9 months because they started from scratch and they got to choose some of their options. So they aren't gonna break ground for another couple weeks. Shout out to the Smothers, hey! But totally worth the wait. They're ready for it. It's gonna be an amazing, gorgeous home up in Bernie.
In Bernie, nice. That's a nice area. I like Bernie.
Denise, you had one too, no?
Yes, and I had a buyer that just signed a contract, and they haven't even broken to the ground yet. They just picked out a lot, and it's going to be The contract specifically said up to 200 days was what the contract specifically said. And I know that this is, it's different because a year ago, you could have gone to any builder and they would have had an inventory of properties ready for move-in, and it would have been a 30-day close. And now we're finding that builders just cannot keep up with the demand. They can't. So
It's because so many people are moving to San Antonio. We said it last week, right? 66 people a day.
66 by KSAT.
Yeah, that's
KSAT
crazy.
News.
So
66 people a day.
So, what do you think people should do when they're kind of stuck in that? They're looking forward to their new
I
home.
like that transition there.
Thank you.
Way to call her out. Way to call her out.
Just saying. No, so obviously that transitions into the rental market, right? So a lot of these individuals wanting to buy properties, but they don't have any. And we were speaking more specifically on new homes right now, but there are a lot of pre-owned homes right now that are still on the market, but there's also a shortage of that too, right? Because with the interest rates going down, a lot more buyers have been around, so that's excited the sellers, and a lot of individuals have been selling properties and stuff like that, to include individual buying properties as investment properties as well too. So but with that shortage of homes on the sales market and individuals not finding the home that they want to live in, has increased rentals, right? Now, it hasn't increased the amount of rentals because some individuals are, like I said, selling their properties rather than putting it on the market as rentals, but it has increased the demand for rentals, which I predict that with this increase in demand in rentals, it's going to increase investors buying more properties so that they can actually put tenants into their property. Right now, with the weight of individuals having to wait for new homes or can't find their homes and stuff like that, for them to rent a property, it actually has decreased in properties on days on market.
Days on market.
Yes. So there's been a 33% decrease on days on market since last year, right? So last year, average days on market was 64 days for a rental property. This year, as of this month, March actually, it's 42 days. That's the average day. So like 20, more than 20 days.
22 days.
22 days less. I can't speak today. I don't know what's going on. Normally it just spits right out of my mouth, like, never mind. So 22 days less to get a property rented out. And actually, because of the higher demand in rentals, there's been a 6% increase in the price. So normally...
Rent has gone up.
Yeah, rent has gone up. Normally our peak season for rentals is April, from April through August, sometimes September, dependent. And normally that's when the rental prices usually hike up a little bit because more individuals are moving to San Antonio. And so obviously the demand is a little bit bigger. So rental prices do spike up a little bit. But even on top of that, we've increased 6%. So that's kind of crazy. So it's a good time for investors if they can find a rental property, or if they go ahead and even purchase a new home to be built for investment properties. We
As an investment later. We're seeing a lot of those. Actually, there was, when I took my client out last night, the individuals that were directly in front of us were investor. It was an investor couple, and they were looking to purchase a home, and they were working with their own agent already. Otherwise, I would have dropped my card, like. But they were already working with an agent, but they were there searching, looking to buy one or two at a much more affordable cost, knowing that it would be brand new. We forgot to mention earlier, we looked up the daily new listings, and it was 218 new listings was reported in MLS this morning. Approximately a third of those were just rentals. So that just goes to show the decrease of the amount of available homes to outright buy.
Yeah.
In San Antonio, that stock is pretty low right now. But so from the investor standpoint, from them trying to purchase to rent, we're noting that there's increased rental prices, decreased wait times. Is it still a good time for them to get that house rented out?
But yeah, there's a lot of investors, obviously, out of state. We get a lot of inquiries from out of state investors, specifically California. I guess the prices.
Not just California, but yeah.
Well, the prices in California are skyrocketing, right? Compared to San Antonio, because as far as San Antonio our housing market, even though it has increased, you can still buy a good house for decent money here in San Antonio. Plus, the cost of living is cheaper here and stuff like that. So a lot of outside investors will come to San Antonio just to purchase a property and hopefully rent it out and get some good cash flow going through. So
definitely. So
you gonna say something?
Are you gonna say anything, Denise?
Denise is all quiet here. She's just staring into the camera. Just, hi, everybody.
That's because she's the prettiest one of us up here.
Wow. No.
I'm the prettiest.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Well, when it comes to investors, no, I don't have anything to say. Do we want to transition?
Well, we do. The investors, from an investor perspective, I think it's important for them to know that we have like you had referenced to us, that this is a transient town due to all the military, due to the heavy medical facilities that we have here and the amount of training that happens, whether it be military medical or whether it be civilian medical. There's a lot that come through here 1, 2, 3, 4 years at a time to do training. So a rental house could easily have consistent cash flow. Right.
For an investor, yeah.
Well, of course, what we see are the hot spots in San Antonio would be anywhere near any of the 5 bases that are here in San Antonio.
The medical center?
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally have dealt with military folks who they're just like, I just want to rent it. I want to drive here and go straight to the house. So we have to talk them down from that and say, no, you really want to see the house. So we have those folks. I personally have helped many a nurse and a medical staff who are here on intern. They're here doing their thing, and they know they're not going to stay. So we have those folks. So we just have San Antonio just has a lot of different industries where they have people coming in and out. We have Toyota that brings in a lot of people.
Amazon is in the works. We do have a distribution center in the Northeast, but apparently they are talking about adding more Amazon centers in San Antonio.
Yes, and how long has IKEA been open? When that IKEA opened up, forget it. We saw Selma blow up. So it's just
the only reason I drive out that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So thankfully San Antonio
Well, you can't drive anywhere right now without seeing some type of construction, right?
Yes.
Especially subdivisions. I mean, we were driving the other day, and there was another area that's being cleared for properties. So properties are being built. It's just taking time.
Yeah.
So that shortage is just driving some people
just
crazy.
Incredibly difficult to keep up with the demand.
Yeah, exactly.
Not every state can be as cool as us.
City.
Sorry.
City.
But well, state. Yeah, state. But anyway,
the amount of people moving to Houston and Austin and then Dallas, just as much.
So people have, they come and, some of them may want to rent, may want to buy, but they're not finding. So what you call it, Belinda, buyer burnout.
Yeah.
So
that's a real thing.
We're seeing that. And then I know I've spoken to many people that they're like, well, we're moving there, but I want to get to know the city for a year or two before I buy, because I want to know where I want to live. And that makes sense because San Antonio is, and its surrounding areas are, it's big. It's a big city.
And there's such variations. Like there's portions of New Braunfels and Bernie that are a little more country-like, a little slower paced, versus if you live inside 410, it tends to be a little more urban and city style living. So you get more bars, a little more of the eateries and restaurants and small businesses like that, more so than on the outskirts. So it's I think it's good that they rent, because they'll want to decide what kind of living do they want before they outright make such a large purchase.
Yeah.
There's a lot of I find there's a lot of military individuals that come to San Antonio, and you're right, Denise. They probably don't purchase a property right away. They want to rent because they want to get to know San Antonio, the areas that they can. But and then while they're here, they decide, hey, I'm going to buy because the properties are, they're decent price, and I can still hold this as an investment property if I PCS somewhere, because they know that as a PCS, they're going to be purchasing properties in different areas, and that's just going to set them up for their future when they retire and stuff like that, of having investment properties and stuff like that. So we find that a lot. Some individuals PCSing in, rent for a year or two, then purchase a house, and they may think that they're going to stay here for 3 or 4 years, because sometimes people get stuck in Lackland for years. That's like,
ask us how we know.
Yeah, exactly. But they get orders, and they have to do something with their property, and sometimes they can try to sell it, but most of the times they're thinking future, so they're looking at just renting it out and stuff like that. So
and I wish we definitely didn't take advantage of that when we were younger, and I wish we did. We would probably have like 2-3 houses by now.
So I guess one of the biggest questions in property management during this whole COVID pandemic thing has been evictions, people not being able to pay rent and stuff like that because they lost their job during this whole thing. And there are a few individuals out there. Obviously, when COVID first hit, when we actually locked down, there was a lot of industries that laid off individuals, and there was a few individuals that were unable to pay rent. I don't think a lot of them were maliciously saying that they weren't paying rent. A lot of individuals try to pay their rent on time and stuff. So we really haven't had a big problem with that. Obviously, evictions is a big thing right now because the CDC has put out that moratorium, but Texas is kind of fighting that. That's Texas for you. But actually, we have seen an increase in owners having property managers take over now because of that, right? Because believe it or not, 34% of rental properties in San Antonio are actually managed by property management companies. A lot of the properties are self-managed by owners until they find out that, they find
the headache of the in and out.
Exactly. Until they find a tenant that they can't get out, or just problems, right? Then they start looking for a professional property management company so the management of homes by professional property management companies has actually increased during this whole COVID pandemic thing. So just so you know.
Just a little tidbit for you there.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
anyway,
it's been wonderful. I think it's about time
to stop. Yes.
To say goodbye.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Wow, to say goodbye. It's like
I'll miss you.
Yeah, what's that show?
To all our company, MIC. KEYMOUSE.
We're
That's not
showing
what I
our
was
age.
thinking, but
No?
okay.
We're showing our age just a
Or
little bit there.
see ya, that one? Hope you had a good
I was thinking,
time. Da-da.
what's that one with the two girls?
That's the one I'm singing right now.
Oh, the one that
Hope
she's on
you
the
had
swing.
a good morning. Doo-doo.
That's before their time.
Hope we get to see you again.
Wow. Anyway,
We'll see you
thanks
next.
for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.